Hi students, I'm Dr. Boissonneau, and I wanted to welcome you to English 105. This is our first week, and as I noted in my email to you, we are not going to have a synchronous meeting this week because our meetings will be on Mondays and Wednesdays, and this week the university is closed on both Monday and Wednesday. Now you may notice on your schedule that we are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that was for if we had been on campus this semester. We are only required to meet once per week, but I decided that 2 meetings is better, I think. So we will maybe sometimes get finished a little early, but we will certainly meet Mondays and Wednesdays unless I let you know otherwise. And then I will be available to you on Fridays, but we won't have a formal full class meeting. Okay, so I have up here, you're going to see on your screen, the home page for one of the sections. Regardless of which section of 105 you're in, if you are with Dr. Boissonneau, you are watching the right video, and this will be the same. It will look the same on your course page. Maybe the colors will be different, but other than that, it's the same. So when you log on to our course webpage, announcements, of course, is pretty self-explanatory. That's where I will send you relevant information, and I usually click the send an email function as well so that you don't have to log into Blackboard to receive that notification. Syllabus, obviously, and we're going to go there in just a second to go over the syllabus in brief. Weekly readings and assignments. Each week, rather than organizing the course by module, as I have sometimes in the past, each week I will just put up, here's week 1, and here's what you're doing this week, and here's what course outcomes we're addressing, and here's what's due and when, and I think that's going to sort of streamline things a little bit, okay? And then you won't, some of these you won't even be able to see on your end. I should probably have us in preview mode. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. That's what you see. Homepage, announcements, syllabus, weekly discussions, and then help, which is a Blackboard function for if something's not working properly for you. Okay, so what is this class? It is a reflective writing portfolio class, and that sort of focus is another reason why I'm not doing specific or discrete modules, but sort of tackling the course as sort of one giant unit, because the whole point is writing as a process rather than a product, right? So we're going to be writing things and revising them. I'm going to be asking you to bring in some material that you've written for other courses, and we're really going to work on that writing process, okay? As I said, we will meet Mondays and Wednesdays on Zoom, okay? And I will post a link to the Zoom meeting for each section, okay? It will be the same every week, but every week about, I don't know, 20 minutes at least before class starts, I will send out a reminder that says, hey, we're about to meet on Zoom, make sure you're there, okay? Before each Zoom meeting, you need to have read, and this will make sense in just a second when I show you the course page, you need to have read and listened to or watched whatever is on the syllabus for that day, the schedule, okay? Which will be it's on the full syllabus, and then the most up-to-date version, like if I need to change anything, will be under weekly readings and assignments. I'm showing up here right now simply because I haven't put anything up there yet. I didn't want you to think anything was due this week, but it's ready to go, okay? So if I exit preview, you'll see where this is going to be. Excuse me, Blackboard's not cooperating. So yeah, that weekly readings and assignment tab will be here once I've put materials in there. And I'm going to do that 1 week at a time so that you're not confused about what's due when. Now, the whole schedule, however, is available to you under syllabus. Now, this says 105.53. Your syllabus is identical if you are in 105.53, 105.54, 105.55, or 105.56. So just because this says 150 or 105.53, don't be alarmed. You're in the right place. This is just rather than make 4 different videos, I'm going to go over it with one course's syllabus, and just know that you substitute that course number, right, and your meeting times, okay? So theoretically. Oh, here we go. My apologies. My computer's being slow. This will happen in class sometimes as well, but it's okay. All right. So, course description, I'm just going to read that to you verbatim. The rest of this you can go through on your own. As you see here, you've got my name. You can call me Dr. B. You don't have to say Dr. Boissonneau, by the way. You have my email address, and you have my phone number. We will meet Mondays and Wednesdays. If you're in 10553, we will meet from 10:10 to 11 a.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays via Zoom. If you are in 10554, we will meet Mondays and Wednesdays from 11:10 a.m. to 12 p.m. via Zoom. If you are in 10555, we will meet Mondays and Wednesdays from 2:10 to 3 o'clock p.m. And if you are in 10556, we will meet Mondays and Wednesdays from 3:10 to 4 o'clock p.m. And then, like I said, we won't have a Friday meeting, but I will be available to you. I'll be around. Okay, so you can almost kind of think of that as like whatever time your class meets, that would be a good time, like on the other days, on the Mondays and Wednesdays. If you need to see me and you can't make my office hours, the time your course meets on Mondays and Wednesdays would be a good time to see me on Friday. My office hours are Tuesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. via Zoom, Blackboard, or email. What that means is I'm not going to sit with a Zoom room open because it just kind of weirds me out to sit there with this screen open that's like looking at me, but that people can pop into. But it means that I'm going to be monitoring my email, my phone, Blackboard during those times. And that if you shoot me a message and you're like, hey, Dr. B, I want to talk to you, I will send you a Zoom link and we'll meet right then. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. Or that we can have a conversation via email. I'm open to texting even. Just let me know who you are and only email me or only text me during, business hours, 8 to 5. Response time, 24 hours for email, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So if it's during working hours, business hours, I'm real quick to get back to you. 24 hours is on the high end. I'm usually much faster than that. I did have somebody comment on my evaluations, just one person, last semester that I didn't return emails. And I suspect, unless I just wasn't getting these, or that unless I'm just not aware of this, they had my name spelled incorrectly, perhaps, here. Okay. Because I responded to all the emails I got, I promise. So make sure when you're emailing me, I sometimes don't spell it right sometimes, so maybe copy and paste it into your email address bar and we'll be good to go. So, response time 24 hours. And if I'm not getting your emails, please let me know. Shoot me a text or send a Blackboard message or something. Let me know, like, during a Zoom meeting. Dr. B, I emailed you 3 days ago. I didn't get because I promise I'm not ignoring anyone. Okay, so please, if you don't hear from me, let me know. Follow up on that and check the spelling of my name and your email address. It's sarah.boissonneau@howard.edu. All graded assignments are returned well before the next graded assignment is due. Okay, I try to get them back to you within 1 week. Sometimes I'm a couple days late. Sometimes I'm a couple days early. I do have a lot of students, but I try to get them back to you as soon as I can. And you will never have to turn in the next major assignment before you have your last one back. So, English 105. The second half of the English 104-105 sequence, 105 provides a different kind of challenge to student writers. Reflecting Writing in Portfolios, 105 emphasizes inquiry and revision as vital tools in the practice of critical thinking and the research process. Inquiry is a critical practice that seeks to investigate and discover the numerous ways writing allows one to address specific practical, critical, and creative problems. This course will stress critical reading, revision as a part of research, and writing as a continuous web of discovery and response. Now that is the university course description. The next part is what I've tailored to our class. So what are we, how specifically are we going to meet this course description? So we will use the podcast Black in Appalachia as the jumping off point for inquiry this semester. One of my research specializations is Appalachian Studies, and A long overlooked aspect of Appalachian life is the presence and contributions of African Americans in Appalachian communities. I will invite you to tailor our assignments to your own interests and majors while providing themed material for collective inquiry. So what that means is, and I'll go over our major assignments here in just a second, but what that means is for every major assignment, you will have the option to write about some of the issues raised by Black in Appalachia, or to sort of shift your focus a little bit and think about those issues in the context of something else that you're interested in or working on in another class. So you'll always have sort of the ability to tailor the assignment to your specific interests, okay? Along with the podcast, we will, and I'm trying to, oh, never mind, I've got the ebook. Along with the podcast, we will read from our textbook, Habits of the Creative Mind, 2nd edition. Now, I accidentally got a copy of the 1st edition, so I then bought the ebook of the 2nd edition, which is cheaper, and you can read it on your phone. So you may want to go that route. You're welcome to purchase either, okay? Or rent either. But make sure you get the 2nd edition. So we'll use that one, as well as supplemental readings that I will link for you on Blackboard. The textbook is designed to help you hone your writing process, research skills, and writing craft. Easy Writer 7th edition is a supplemental handbook that has valuable information about writing, research, and citation. I will not assign specific readings from that text, but I will point students in the direction of useful sections as relevant. So I'm just letting you know up front, most of you should have that book. Since you took 104, you should have some version of Easy Writer. So I will often say, hey, this section, page 265 of Easy Writer will help you with this assignment. But I'm never going to require that reading, okay? It's supplemental. It will be great for you to have because it has the MLA guide and all that kind of thing. But I won't be assigning material for it like I did in 104. In this class, our main goal is to develop critical inquiry skills that make us effective researchers and writers. I encourage you to use the conversations we have in class to examine related issues in your other courses. In fact, in your final portfolio, you'll be asked to include and revise at least one essay or assignment from another course in addition to pieces you wrote for my class. Doing so will help you develop a sense of your identity as a writer beyond the English classroom. Okay, course outcomes. So everything we do this semester will be designed to meet one or more of these course outcomes. And you'll see that they're very interrelated in terms of using writing as a process to develop our skills as writers and researchers, and therefore they don't easily lend themselves to being broken up into modules or units. So we're kind of tackling them 1 week at a time and kind of as pieces of this larger picture, okay? So this course aims to allow students to achieve a better understanding of the decision-making behind any artful, intelligent communication, especially in their own writing and that of others, to better use of exploration, analysis, and planning in writing and communication across various mediums and contexts, giving special attention to ideas, content, structure, and style within reading and writing, strengthen their knowledge of linguistic structures, including grammar, punctuation, and vocabulary, through practice in composition and revision, understand research as taking part in an ongoing conversation. That's my favorite one. We'll talk about that a lot. Employ the methods and processes commonly used for research and communication within students' fields. Okay, so we'll talk about how does writing differ across the academic spectrum, right? From the social sciences and the humanities and the hard sciences. Familiarize themselves with composition in both prose and digital multimedia mediums. So like we're looking at podcasts, you'll do a multimedia presentation. Emerge from the experience of the course with an enhanced appreciation of the beauties and strengths of well-shaped acts of written communication and with full understanding of the power of the written word to affect the world. Okay? Measure graded assignments and their percentage of your final grade. Weekly discussion boards will be 20%. Exploratory essay, 15%. Critical inquiry research essay, 20%. Multimedia presentation, 15%. Digital writing portfolio, 30%. And each of these will have a specific assignment sheet with a detailed rubric on how you'll be graded. And those will get posted under weekly reading and assignments when you're supposed to have read that assignment, okay? So they will always be up at least 2 weeks before an assignment is due, or more if I think it's one that you need to look at sooner, okay? And we will always be talking about these assignments well in advance of when you need to turn them in. As you can see here, we do not have midterms. We do not have a final. The writing is the thing here, right? So your assignments are, right, we're not going to do tests. So I always at midterms get a question, hey, Dr. B, when's our midterm? We don't have one. Okay, so your midterm grade will be based on the papers that you've written to that point. Okay, required texts that I've already talked about, the Black in Appalachia podcast, Richard Miller and Ann Jurasik's Habit of the Creative Mind, 2nd edition. I've got the ebook ISBN for you, so you can search by that, the paper ISBN, and you can purchase either. And see, this is the importance of proofreading here. I have ISBN twice there. And then the Andrea Lunsford Easy Writer. And I did say here, as noted above, this text is supplemental. Okay, I will not assign specific readings from that text. Okay, course structure and synchronous meeting preparation. While I will be available throughout each week, especially during my listed office hours, we will have 2 synchronous meetings per week. I've already talked to you about when that is. 53, you're 10:10 to 11. 54, you're 11:10 to 12. 55, you're 2:10 to 3. And 56, you are 3:10 to 4 o'clock. Please prepare for these sessions as you would for in-person classes by having read, listened to, watched all the assigned materials for the week prior to that meeting. And by the week, I mean whatever's written for that day. That's not your homework that night. If it says that this reading is for Monday the 25th, you need to have done it before the 25th, if that makes sense. I also strongly recommend the following method. If you had me last semester, you know the QPC, the question, passage, and connection. Prior to the class meetings each week, come up with one question you have about the course or our materials. This can be logistical or discursive. Like it can be a logistics question such as, hey, when's that one thing due? Or, which you will always have the answer to available, but, or, you know, how do you want us to write that paragraph? You know, it can be something like that about the class, or discursive as in a question about the ideas of the class. So that's your question. Passage, one short passage from our materials that you'd like to discuss with me and your classmates. That could be a quote from the podcast. It could be a quote from Habits of the Creative Mind. It could be a quote from the supplemental essays I assign that'll be available on Blackboard. But just something that stood out to you that you want to discuss. And finally, come up with one connection between our course materials and something going on in the world. That's not easy, or that's not hard these days. There's so much going on, or in your other classes. The more diligently students prepare for these sessions, the better discussions we can have. Each Friday, you will have a discussion entry due on Blackboard, and you are welcome to submit these anytime after our Wednesday synchronous meetings. Major assignments, this is not true. I need to take this out. Most of your major assignments actually this semester are due on Monday. That's something from a previous semester that I meant to take out and did not. I apologize, I'll fix that. So go ahead and note that that's not true. They're due, in fact, I think I've made a concerted effort this semester to not make them due on Fridays. And I thought I fixed this out, and I'm sorry. But it will say it says on the schedule from the get-go when things are due. So nothing, and they're usually due on Mondays, sometimes on Wednesdays, and nothing is ever due sooner than it's listed on the syllabus. Might get moved back. It's never going to get moved forward, okay? Additional course policies, and y'all bear with me. I know this is a long video, but if we have this discussion here, we don't have to spend as much time in class on the syllabus. You should attend all synchronous meetings and notify me if you are unable to do so. Late work will not be graded unless you contact me to work out an arrangement. I am happy to work with you if you have extenuating circumstances, but you need to stay in communication with me. You should act with respect and kindness in all interactions with your classmates, me, and yourselves. All assignments come with a thorough assignment sheet and a detailed rubric for evaluation. You should consult these throughout the writing process and are encouraged to use provided rubrics to evaluate your own work before submitting for grading. I'm not going to read you all these policies, but you should read them on ADA procedures and interpersonal violence, academic honesty, plagiarism. Please make sure you read all these. and the policy on incomplete grades, the writing matters statement. Please read all of these on your own. Okay, so I have at the bottom of the syllabus a calendar for you. January through April. Our last class meeting's in April, so I didn't put a May on here. So I will hold my office hours. I will be monitoring my email from 11 to 1 tomorrow, so please let me know if you need to talk to me. I will also have them on Thursday. So on Friday, I listed for you just to give you like a day to do this, but you can do it anytime this week. Watch this video, which you're doing right now, so congratulations. Read the syllabus and do both of these before Monday's meeting. Okay, so you need to do both of those, all of those. But what you need to do for Monday as well is read this article, which is about the podcast we're doing this semester, and then listen to, it's basically an advertisement for the podcast. It's just an overview of what Black in Appalachia is all about. Okay, and then for Wednesday of next week, you will have listened to the first episode and you will have read the section called Orienting in the Habits of the Creative Mind. You can find the page numbers for that in the table of contents. Okay, so as promised in my announcement, here is your assignment that I buried at the end of this and that will not be mentioned anywhere on Blackboard until I've already put the points in for it. Okay, so this is just to ensure that everybody watches this video. I want you to email me from your preferred email address. I hope that's your Howard address, but if you have trouble with your Howard email, you can use another. But I do encourage you to use your Howard email, because that's a really professional look for interacting with professors, to use the university email, but also because that makes sure that you're getting all the announcements from the university and all the announcements from Blackboard and all that kind of thing. So your assignment is, and this is going to count as a discussion board grade. Now, your first actual discussion board is not due till next Friday, the 29th, but I'm going to put this in as like first week introductions. Okay, so it will be part of those weekly discussion grades. Email me introducing yourself, letting me know what your major is if you have one, okay? And then any questions you have about the course, challenges you foresee in the class, anything of that nature. Let me know who you are and what you want to get out of this course and any challenges you think you might have, right? And I'll give you a discussion grade for that. And that'll be a good way for me to get to meet all of you over email before our first class meeting. So please send that before whatever time your class meets on Monday the 25th. Send that to me before then via email, okay? I'm looking forward to meeting you all, and I hope you have a great week. Stay safe and take care.